Hi trader, welcome to Elite Currency. This time around, a video on placing the Fibonacci tool with the use of the awesome oscillator, or the AO in other words. Be aware of the risk involved in trading for exchange. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. And this webinar is for educational and informational purposes only, or I should say video. By continuing watching this video, you agree with this disclaimer. So you might be wondering, how is an oscillator connected to using the Fibonacci tool? A very sound question, but it does make sense. The oscillator, the awesome oscillator, or AO, is an indicator at the bottom of the chart, and it shows histogram bars and therefore shows momentum because it takes the difference between the short and long-term moving averages. So when the AO is rising, we have a bullish momentum, and when the AO is falling, it's either retracing or showing a bearish momentum. Now, in this example of the pound out 4-hour chart, you can see that the oscillator bars are above this middle line, the zero line, and rising. So that is definitely a bullish trend, a bullish momentum. I basically use the AO for two reasons when connecting it to fibs. First of all, the very first importance here is knowing which direction to fib. Obviously, the AO helps me determine whether I want to place the fib in the first place and whether I want to look for bullish or bearish retracements as a continuation of the trend. In this case, I see a very strong AO going to the upside, indicating a bullish trend, so I'm looking for longs at the retracements. So I place the fib from bottom to top, and as price retraces back down, these fibs become support for upside continuation. All right. The opposite, of course, is true if the AO would be bearish. All right. And then I would look for downside continuation at the fibs as well. The AO oscillator also helps if there's actually a flatness, because that indicates a range, and using fibs in ranges is not desirable and is best to actually avoid. So when the oscillator does not have a strong momentum, like in this example, and just like floats kind of sideways with some ups and downs, but no clear steam like in before and after that, then that actually shows a warning sign: don't use fibs in this zone. Now that we know if to fib, how about which swing high, swing low to fib? Which swing should I use based on the awesome oscillator? And that too is something that we can use the AO for. This is the second reason why I love the AO in combination with fibs. It's also a powerful concept in determining the best swing. So what I do is I wait for a strong oscillator reading and a retracement back to the zero line or close to the zero line. As soon as this starts retracing, basically, I can put a fib from the top or bottom in the downtrend, or bottom to top in an uptrend, and wait for price to hit one of these fibs and turn back down. Of course, it is good to check one time frame higher to make sure that that trend is there in the same direction, because otherwise you might get caught in a counter trend movement. But if the trend on the higher time frame is pointing in the same direction, then looking for the retracement after this kind of bottoms out in a downtrend and returns back is good. I can place it on the top to bottom and indeed look at price stopping at the 50 fib and continuing down to the minus 61.8 target. Here is another example of the pound yen 4-hour chart, and realize that basically a swing high, swing low is only completed when price has gone back to the zero line. So in this case, you can see that from here to bottom to top is one movement. That entire upside is one movement, because after that price or the oscillator went back to the zero line. Then again, from here to here, as you can see, is one movement. From here to here is one movement, because the oscillator went from here to here and then back to the zero line. And in both cases, price stopped at the 38.2 fib. But I know that both these fibs from here to there and from here to there are two different swing highs, swing lows, because the oscillator went back to the zero line. If anything of that was confusing, send us an email. We'll explain that in further details. info@elitecurrency.com. We have a special 5-part webinar series over 5 weeks starting mid-August. The topics are still secret, so join the list. They're going to be awesome topics with some very new stuff. So join the list, send us an email, join list, and we'll send you an update when we're ready to launch this free 5-part webinar series. Hope to see you in that webinar series and wish you good trading. Cheers.